Almost everything we think we know about addiction is wrong. You get a rat and you put it in a cage and you give it 2 water bottles. One is just water and the other is water laced with either heroin or cocaine. If you do that, the rat will almost always prefer the drugged water and almost always kill itself quite quickly. Professor Alexander comes along and he looks at this experiment and he noticed something. We're putting the rat in an empty cage. So Professor Alexander built a cage that he called Rat Park. In Rat Park, they don't like the drugged water. You go from almost 100% overdose when they're isolated to 0% overdose when they have happy and connected lives. What if addiction is an adaptation to your environment? Human beings have a natural and innate need to bond. And when we're happy and healthy, we'll bond and connect with each other. But if you can't do that because you're traumatized or isolated or beaten down by life, you will bond with something that will give you some sense of relief. The opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection.
Guys, this is just an example of where science just proves what the Bible already says. Proverbs 18:1 says, "He who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks free from all sound judgment." The reason that I talk about how fasting is the only credibility to overcome an addiction is because that was my personal testimony. In my early 20s, as I had built sexual morality into my lifestyle since an early age, that just became a norm. I didn't really understand how bad it was until I tried to overcome it. I was sexually exposed to inappropriate things, and I watched porn from an early age, around 12 or 13 years old. So it just became a habit. It wasn't until my adulthood I actually attempted to overcome it. And I realized I couldn't go more than 3 or 4 days without it. And so I realized this is a bigger problem than I actually knew about. And that's the challenge of a lot of people. They have addictions that they are unaware of because they don't even give themselves time to separate from it. So it wasn't until I did an accountability group with other men for 30 days of no sexual sin whatsoever until I could actually overcome that addiction. And that's why I so passionately speak about it, because of the impact that it had on transforming my whole entire life when I overcame that. Because if you don't destroy your demons will always destroy your calling. And it is not possible to do it alone. We don't have strong enough willpower to overcome things of the spirit by ourselves. We have to be submitted to community. The reason that people's flesh doesn't want to be submitted to community is because community is synonymous with accountability. But it is critical to transforming everything. It is a requirement on this battle to combat the temptations of the enemy. So if you need support, if you need to be submitted to community, message me purpose so that I could support you on this journey.